Hey guys, good evening. Real quick, I'm a little bit unprepared right now. I just turned my computer on, but something I noticed on my way in the door when I was looking at radar on my phone, Pettis County. Um, if this is going to remain north of Sedalia along Highway 65, but anybody that is commuting or heading south or north on Highway 65 north of Sedalia, I am picking up some strong rotation southwest of Newland. This will be west of Beeman. What's crazy, this thing's not even severe warned right now. So all the attention is up north near Marshall, where they have an ongoing confirmed tornado that was just west of Marshall. But if you live along 65 or traveling along 65, this was in between Georgetown and State Highway J. Very strong rotation. Looks like Bothwell Park Road. I'm not familiar with this area, but hopefully, if you do live along in this area, that you know what I'm referring to. And this is in Pettis County, north of Sedalia. But it just on the last last 5 minutes, right when I walked in the door, it seemed like this cell continues to grow stronger and stronger. So I wanted to jump on here real quick to let everybody know, especially if you're in Pettis County, you got friends or family in Pettis County, north of Sedalia, or traveling along Highway 65, that there's, regardless, some very strong winds and some strong circulation is what I'm seeing right here. This little tornado signature dot that my cursor is on, that just come up here in the last right when I went live, and basically that doesn't mean there's a tornado, it just means there's a tornado signature, and that is what this TVS stands for. Not overly strong. It has a meso index of 4. And looks like there's some large hail in this as well. It's getting some good returns from the radar for hail indicators, but it is spinning. So in this environment that we are in, we do have a slight tornado risk, 5% in the watch area. There's Henry. Well, they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Benton County. So you're hearing this fresh off the press. My weather radio hadn't even gone off yet. So severe thunderstorm warning for Pettis County does not include the town of Sedalia. I will repeat that. Does not include the town of Sedalia. They are not mentioning about a tornado possible. However, I am saying that if you live along Highway 65, looks like right around between Newland and Beeman, mainly rural areas along Highway EEHH Highway. There is rotation there. Pretty strong rotation actually. So let's make sure we get word out if anybody knows somebody that lives in this area. And I'm going to switch. I apologize, I'm not too prepared right now, but I did want to get on here, and I am going to put a post for those that maybe not be on Facebook. There's the severe thunderstorm warning for Pettis County that is just rolling across the weather radios right now. Bear with me, guys. I've got more information to bring out here in just a moment. I do want to update the Facebook page. and then I'll explain to you maybe what could be in store for what we are waiting on. And this cell just blossomed over the last about 20 minutes, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to jump online. If anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them in chat. I'll get to them here momentarily. I do want to I'm going to screenshot this so I can post it in Facebook on our weather page. I got 3 monitors. They're all 32 or 40 inch monitors. I think I need about 5 more. We're still waiting on that, Ariana. And I'll explain that. I'll explain that here in just a moment as soon as I update my page here. I know some people, they just they don't like to get on YouTube. They don't want to follow YouTube, which I'm fine with that, but I do need to spread the information onto the website. I'm sorry, onto Facebook page, make sure everybody is aware. I hope everybody's having a good evening so far. Kind of expecting some thunderstorms to fire up this afternoon and tonight, but of course, of all nights, and I was running late home from work, so I'm playing catch up. All right, so let's blow this out. Still seeing some incredible rotation. Looks like getting ready to come into Beeman along Highway HH in Pettis County, and kind of explain to you what I'm looking at. This cell right here on the tail end, it does have that little classic hook, so to speak. Everybody has heard about the hook. And pretty much what's happening here, you got warm, moist air that is being funneled into this thing right here at this V-notch. I call it a V-notch because it's kind of an area of clearing. It's kind of an area of clearing right here. So what happens, you got wind coming up from the south. It's being rotated around counterclockwise into a hook. And then we go over to the right side of the page, and this is the velocity radar. You see very strong winds going away from the radar. Right here. And wind toward the radar right here. That's signifying that there's rotation within this cell. And it's fairly small, and it's that was just an update that it just had. In my mind, very significant right here. Let's zoom in. Looks like it'd be going right at Beeman. So if you know anybody in this area, this is the only severe storm here in West Central Missouri in Pettis County, north of Sedalia. Make sure everybody realizes that. I'm kind of focusing here for our friends here in Pettis County right now, before I get what we're expecting here in other parts of West Central Missouri. But focus right now here in Pettis County. I am seeing very strong rotation near Beeman. If it was me, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. I would heed this as a tornado warning. It is not tornado warned by the National Weather Service. This is strictly my opinion. But I would not be surprised if they did issue a tornado warning for this. We'll see on the next scan, see if it's holding together. It looked like it is along State Highway O. We are west of State Highway JJ, but it will be crossing JJ here momentarily across the county. So anybody that lives in this area, friends and family that lives in this area, make sure they are aware of this. It is a severe thunderstorm warning. Sometimes people don't heed them as very dangerous, but I'm telling you that this is something that they need to take seriously right now. Along Highway HH, the towns of Beeman, towns of Newland, and along State Highway O, I would be treating this as a tornado warned storm. Go to the lowest part of your house. If you don't have a basement, go to the center part of your house, away from windows, in a bathtub, in a center closet. This is. I'm really kind of surprised that there is nothing here. We do have another tornado signature marker. It has increased. Now it's Meso 6, a meso complex of 6, which is fairly strong. That's just pretty much telling you on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as how strong the mesocyclone is. Mesocyclone means that it is rotating. So fairly strong. We just had another scan. Still showing nice V-notch, a little bit of a hook, and then on the right hand side we're seeing that area of pretty tight rotation. So still a dangerous storm in my opinion. Right over Beeman. Grab a drink of water here. And again, this is north of Sedalia. It's on the far eastern edge of Pettis County right now, but it is a very, very strong cell along Highway HH. Looked like directly over the town of Beeman. Making sure we get word out there on that. I am going to go ahead at this time and kind of back off just a little bit, take a look at what we are looking at this evening. I'm going to set this into motion. Man, look how strong that rotation is once you get away. Right there over Beeman. Very surprised this is not tornado warned right now. Very, very surprised. Okay, let's get off of that here for a minute. If you guys notice this, I'm going to put things into motion here to show you how fast this cell in Pettis County came up and just began to strengthen within about 8 to 10 miles. So very quickly it formed, very quickly it strengthened into a severe warned cell. With a lot of rotation, what I'm seeing. So anyway, if you notice, I want to point out this line right here and a secondary line right here. Now I'm going to take this blue line away. I want you guys to watch these little these are surface boundaries. This is what they are possibly expecting more storms to fire along. So I am going to go ahead and take away the blue lines. Now we can watch these two lines. And this is where you would expect to see thunderstorms to develop. And notice one here just to the east of Warrensburg just formed, being sucked up by this monster supercell in Pettis County north of Sedalia. But this is what I'm watching right now. This is going to be our threat of severe thunderstorms, and the reason why Pettis, Benton, Henry, and Johnson County in west central Missouri is under a severe thunderstorm watch. Is for the possible formation of thunderstorms along these two little boundaries. And with dew points, right now I've got 87 degrees actual temperature, which is not all that bad. But if you factor in the high dew point, we're sitting at 103 degree heat index, which is nuts. To have a heat index of 103 with 87 degree actual air temperature. So very hot, very humid out there tonight, fuel for these thunderstorms. So that's why we're watching these two areas for any future development of thunderstorms in Lafayette, Johnson, and actually Cass, Bates, and Henry counties. These can strengthen very, very fast, as we see this one in Pettis County blown up just over the last 20 minutes. So I'm going to be watching these cells very carefully over the next couple hours. That's where I feel are the most impactful time that we could see some thunderstorms here over the next couple hours. To answer your questions, is anything going to happen? Some of us might go through the night and not get a drop of rain. It's gonna depend on what is gonna happen right here. All indications are showing that thunderstorms, scattered in nature, but will form along these two boundaries and move across the area that's under the watch. But of course, as you guys know, nothing is guaranteed. All the conditions are sitting there ripe and ready to go. We just got to get a thunderstorm to form, and it will rapidly intensify. So I am going to, for those in Pettis County, I am going to stay live until this cell is out of the county. And still seeing some rotation, a little broader now. But we are getting further away from the radar. I do want to take a look at, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. We're definitely going to see a report. It might be a barn, it might be a roof, but I am going to go back here and show you guys right there. If you guys notice, just southwest, I got my hand on a cursor and I can't let go, but just southwest of where that tornado icon is, you see blue, black, green. That was definitely a quick spin up tornado. Whether or not it hit the ground or not, we cannot confirm, but that was definitely a lowering. And very, very strong rotation for about 3 minutes, it looks like, before the next scan took place. So see if I can stop that again to show you guys. Right there, if you notice, right where my cursor is, right here. That was huge amount of rotation. Very likely could have been a brief tornado touching down. And that would have been, let's see where that would have been. That was actually right along Highway HH, just west of Beeman. So, yeah, and right now it's still showing signs of rotation. It is not tornado warned, but there are a couple areas of rotation within this supercell that's exiting Pettis County. And I'm going to stay live here till this cell gets out of Pettis County. But very strong rotation. 60 mile an hour winds, 1 inch hail, next 35 minutes. Actually, it'll probably be less than that for you in Pettis County once this cell moves out. There's nothing right directly behind it. Hey, Misty. You must have just got on. Kind of focusing on this cell that was in Pettis County, showing very strong signs of rotation. We are watching two areas, one right here and one right here. You'll see a little returns on radar, kind of a green line down here. These are the two boundaries that these thunderstorms would fire upon if they do fire. So this is what we're watching, and making sure that to see if any more thunderstorms are going to fire up this line before the sun goes down. All the conditions are out there right now for some severe storms. Tornado potential is up in our area a little bit over what it had been the last few storm systems. We are in a 5% chance. When they say a 5% chance, it's a 5% chance of a tornado happening within that area, within 50 miles of any given point. So it's very, very small chance. However, it's been almost non-existent over the last few systems. So that's why we're really watching this tonight, and we will have this same setup again for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. So I know there's a lot of functions going on. This weekend. Probably several of you camping. Unfortunately, this is not like a big system moving through. Have 15-20 minutes of hail, wind, strong heavy rains, and then it moves out. These are pop-up, scattered. As you can see, even if we take a look at the overall picture, we got two supercells, one near Marshall, another one northeast of Sedalia, both showing signs of strong rotation, both with a mesocyclone, meaning that the entire storm is rotating, and nothing else really around it. So it's very scattered in nature, but the conditions are there. So I can't. I'll just be honest with you. I can't tell you what Warrensburg's going to look like tonight, or Harrisonville, or Clinton, or Colcamp, because it's very likely most of us will remain dry and clear skies for the night. But we got to watch these two boundaries as they move through the area to see if any more thunderstorms will form along these lines and possibly grow into severe storms. So that's what's happening tonight. Two strong cells out there, one near Marshall, one to the northeast of Sedalia, getting ready to exit Pettis County. And really that's about it here in west central Missouri currently. And again, I am watching pretty much this line right here, stretching from Peculiar through Pleasant Hill, northern Johnson County. I'm watching this line right here. It will continue to kind of sink to the southeast, and thunderstorms could erupt along this line and move into west central Missouri. So that is my focus on tonight. Let's put this into motion here. And let's go back a few frames. Let's go back about 30 frames and watch this evolve. So we had this little cell here in Pettis County. That's when I seen it on my phone coming in the door, and that's when I ran in here and jumped on live. And very, very strong cell went through Pettis County, northern Pettis County, north of Sedalia. If you notice right here at the boundary lines, a couple other little cells popping up. It's being sucked in by this big supercell out here in Pettis County. But continue to watch this line here coming across Johnson County and eventually sinking to the southeast for future thunderstorm development. It is, Joy, very soupy and hot here. Still got a heat index of 102 at 87 degrees actual temperature heat index of 102. Very soupy. And again, that's just the fuel for these thunderstorms that they need. Now we need a trigger, something to form these thunderstorms so that they can intensify. And that's what we're watching. We're watching this lifting mechanism, this little boundary, a little boundary of it might only be 1, 2, 3 degree difference. But it is a boundary. We can very easily see that on radar right now. And that's what we're watching. If a thunderstorm fires along this line and initiates, it has all that soupy, hot air that will fuel it. And that's what I am watching for tonight. A lot of people, I got 32 private messages today. People going to the Ed Sheeran concert at Arrowhead tomorrow night. Want to know what the forecast, and it's going to be kind of the same. Scattered thunderstorms. Actually, Kansas City themselves, about a 50-50 shot between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m. of thunderstorms. Some of them may be severe. There is a slight risk for severe thunderstorms all throughout west central Missouri for Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. So, this is one of those great situations. If you're going to be traveling, going up to Kansas City to Arrowhead, make sure that you have one of our apps downloaded. Did you? I guess you kind of understood my Ariana about what to expect tonight. It's up there. You're still kind of in the firing zone for thunderstorms, but we're not 100% sure where they're going to fire, if they're going to fire along these boundaries. So, anyway, as I was saying, for tomorrow night, have one of the two apps, Storm Shield, or the American Red Cross sponsored emergency app, and they will notify you if tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, watches, advisories. So make sure you have a portable app with you if you're traveling up to the concert tomorrow night. There is a potential for severe thunderstorms in Kansas City tomorrow night, as well as all of west central Missouri. So it's going to be kind of a rinse and repeat again for tomorrow afternoon. That little cell that we was watching. No cows in Casey, Kansas. That's good. That's good, sis. That's a positive thing. You guys notice this little cell that in Pettis County again. You notice this cell that grew right here in Johnson County, right along one of those boundaries into Pettis County, and continually to intensify. It will likely meet up with this cell up here south of Marshall. But that's how fast these little cells can develop along one of these boundaries, and it does have hail in it. Likely going to be severe warned once it meets up with this cell. So it can happen very, very quickly. So that's why I'm keeping a close eye on the two boundaries. Current boundaries right now. Let's stop this. We have one boundary right here, and we got another boundary right here. Looks like another little thunderstorm popped up here in Johnson County, southeast of Warrensburg. We'll be watching that cell to see if it should intensify. That would be a little bit closer to heading into the Sedalia area in Pettis County. So be watching that cell right there for any intensification. And anywhere here in west central Missouri, we could see more thunderstorms develop and mature. So it does look like, though, National Weather Service have canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Johnson and Henry counties. So they have canceled. It's still ongoing for Benton and Pettis County, just to the east of Clinton and Warrensburg. And I can kind of understand that here over the last last 50 frames. Most of the activity has been brewing right, really just kind of just along Highway 65 and point just to the west of Highway 65. And there hadn't been hardly any activity blow up over here in Henry, Johnson, of course, Bates, Vernon counties. There hadn't been hardly any activity. I'm still going to be watching the boundaries here for thunderstorm development. But as of right now, the National Weather Service has canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson and Henry counties. So anyway, that is the scoop, guys. I think we've had looks like we've had a couple hundred people come in and listen to this for at least a few minutes, kind of get the scoop of what's going on. All right, so that same cell that we were talking about that just exited Sedalia, what I have been watching over the last 20 minutes is now tornado warned. So this is the reason, guys, that I keep a close eye. I am still convinced that on the Pettis County side near Beeman that there was likely a spin-up tornado, and I'm going through Twitter, going through National Weather Service reports to see if there was any damage reported down there. Very strong rotation. And here again, it is not part of one of our counties. This is going to be east of Sedalia, along Highway 50, but not in Pettis County. However, National Weather Service had issued a tornado warning for a radar-indicated possible tornado southwestern Cooper County at 8:05. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located over Otterville or 12 miles northwest of Tipton, moving east at 20 miles per hour. Otterville and Bunston are the locations to be impacted. So this is exactly why I was watching this cell over here on Pettis County. It does have some pretty strong rotation. That rotation that I'm referring to is on the right side of your screen right here. And we had stronger rotation than that in Pettis County. So this is why I feel like, National Weather Service, they can't follow every storm. They see a different perspective than I do or other weather fanatics out there. However, I personally think a lot of times what happens in situations like this, you get little spin-ups. Now these are actual supercells, so these are mesocyclones. The entire storm rotates, and more tornadoes are actually produced in supercells similar than what they are over, say, like a big line of storms. But I do believe that tornadoes happen more frequently than reported along long lines of thunderstorms, and it's important to follow them. And especially in west central Missouri, where we're kind of in between the forecast centers, between Springfield and Kansas City. That's one of the main reasons why I started this page, was because we're kind of stuck there in the middle. And so sometimes we get kind of overlooked sometimes, but that's why I feel this is definitely a necessity we need here in west central Missouri, to be able to keep an eye on these storms going through our 8 counties of interest, and being able to find these little areas of rotation to warn people to heed these severe thunderstorm warnings as a tornado warning, to protect property and of course to protect life in general. So and again, Cooper County tornado warning for the same cell that come across Sedalia. I'm sorry, that come across Pettis County, north of Sedalia. And so we kind of zoom out here, take a look what else is going on here. We have another cell that formed in Johnson County, moving over to the Sedalia side, keeping an eye on that cell right here for any intensification. It's more of a direct line into the Sedalia area, so be watching for that. We also have another cell north of Sedalia that is along this little frontal boundary that is soon to be hooked up with this monster supercell up here, looks like just southeast of Marshall. But the predominant strong storm right now is this one here in Cooper County. This cell here, it wouldn't surprise me to see this one begin to weaken considerably. What's happening is this cell just here near Marshall is actually going to start, is going to be starved of that warm, moist air from the supercell here in Cooper County. So we'll see this be the predominant storm. This will be the weaker storm now, since all it's going to be doing is sucking up that rain-cooled air from this cell to the south of it. So likely to see this cell to weaken. This one here, there's not another cell to the south, so I will we'll probably see this cell, this supercell right here in Cooper County, probably travel a long ways without losing its intensity, and likely produce little spin-up tornadoes along the way. So again, if you guys are still hanging out here, they have canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Cass, Johnson, and Henry County. National Weather Service is seeming to think that these storms are going to fire up basically just west of Highway 65 and move east and not affect our counties. We do have a couple frontal boundaries going through our area right now in Cass and Johnson and Henry counties, and I am going to keep an eye on that for any further development. Looks like we have a report. Let's see where that is at. So it looks like we have a report of 60-mile-per-hour winds in Clifton City, Missouri, by the fire department, and rescue was the source. And that's here in Clifton City in Cooper County, where a tornado warning is still in effect for the next 17 minutes for Cooper County. Looked like right around New Lebanon, Clifton City, and Otterville, and the rural areas in between. All right, guys. So that's the scoop right now. Looks like the cell that prompted severe thunderstorm warning has moved out of Pettis County now into Cooper County. Now producing a tornado in Cooper County. They've canceled Cass, Johnson, Henry County from the severe thunderstorm watch. I will continue to monitor these outflow boundaries, the frontal boundaries. One is draped right now across Johnson County and Cass County. I will be watching for any further thunderstorm development. And other than that, it doesn't look like there's any other activity here in west central Missouri to be concerned about at the present time. So I will be updating on our page and on social media. You guys have a great evening.